Clark Lea, good old Clark Lea at Vanderbilt. He said, let me expand this so I can see it. He said, it's just absurd the idea that we're going to open the door to teams that play in conferences that aren't the SEC that have the same record we have. I mean, it's just crazy. So he's talking about the college football playoffs. He's talking about how teams from other conferences who have the same record as SEC teams basically have no point on being in the college football playoffs if they have the same record as an SEC team, essentially saying that 10-2 SEC teams can get in, but there is no place for a Big Ten team that's 10-2 or an ACC or a Big 12 team that's 10-2. You have to be 11-1 or better if you're in any conference outside of the SEC. Zach, your thoughts?
He needs to go back to the kiddie table. The adults are talking. Like, what is this stupidity?
Especially coming from Vanderbilt, right?
Right. Like, you just got good. And when you played the good teams on your schedule, you got smoked. Shut up. I don't care. Sorry, I'm in a mood tonight.
Well, I was gonna say, I think we know where Diego Pavia has started to get some of his confidence from, right?
Like, what are we doing? Like, there is a point of this. My dad and I were talking about this. I understand politicking for your team. I get that. Like, I don't fault Sark for doing it. I don't fault Clark Lea for doing it. But if you're going to politic, don't be a jerk and don't be disingenuous. That's what this is. Like, the SEC is so much better. Really? Let's see how you guys do again in the postseason.
And why has the only team in your conference that has won a playoff game the past 2 seasons a team that came from the Big 12? The past 2 playoffs, the only team from that conference that has won a playoff game came from the Big 12. So the team, I mean, look at Vanderbilt's schedule this year, and I know we kind of hate doing the schedule stuff a little bit, but like just it is so hollow. It is so hollow. You have South Carolina at South Carolina. That was the number 11 team in the nation at the time. South Carolina sucks. Okay, they're 4-8. They are not good. You had Alabama. You played them, killed by Alabama, 30-14. You beat LSU when they were number 10 in the nation. You by 1 score. LSU stinks. LSU's going to a bowl game because of the way they started things, but LSU is not a good football team. Yes, they gave Oklahoma a good game, but guess what? Oklahoma's fraudulent as well. Like, they do not have an offense. Oklahoma should be treated the way that Iowa has been treated for years now, but nobody treats them that way because, they get turnovers and look at that defense and everything else because they're in the SEC. But it's absolutely ridiculous that they do not get treated like Iowa. They don't get that offense made fun of by other people because Iowa's an easy target in the Big Ten, and everybody wants to target the Big Ten. Missouri, they beat them by 7. Missouri, not ranked. I mean, in the AP poll, they're ranked, but they don't have a single. I think they have 1 win over a bowl eligible team when I was looking at it. But they don't have a single win over a team with a winning record.
I'm pretty sure that's the game that Bo Prabula broke his leg, too.
Yeah, and they were like even that entire game, and then Bo Prabula went out and Vanderbilt. Yeah, you're right. You lose to Texas, I guess at Texas, but still, you give up 34 points to Texas, who's had struggles with Arch Manning all year. You beat Auburn by 7 points. Yes, you kill Kentucky. Good job. And then you win at Tennessee. You destroy them.
How many points did they beat Kentucky by?
What is that? 28.
Okay, so like Louisville's better than them because they beat Kentucky by 41.
We don't do transitive properties here.
I know. But that's what the SEC does.
That's true. That is what they do. So if we want
I'm just giving them their own medicine.
Yeah. You make a good point. And then at Tennessee, you beat them 45-24. I mean, Tennessee's been fraudulent all season. They have not beat a single team with a winning record. Like, we've been saying this all season, but they get amped up a little bit because Tennessee was number 19 in the rankings. Thankfully, Tennessee is out now. Thank you, Vanderbilt, for getting rid of them. But this entire idea that like Vanderbilt, they're an SEC school, they're so good. It is completely ridiculous.
So Vandy has not beaten a top 25 team this year. A current
top 25 team. No, they have not. And not in the college football playoff rankings. If you go to the AP poll, I think Missouri and Tennessee are both ranked there. But if you go by the CFP rankings. Yeah.
But but here's what I do want to say. Like, Vandy is a good team this year. Like they've had a
They
great
have a good
season.
offense. They have a good offense.
They've had a great season for their standards. And here's what bothers me about them, though. Everybody wants to put them in the playoff. Where was this? What was going on with Indiana a year ago? Similar profile of school, right? Like Indiana's not a bunch of nerds like the Vanderbilt Commodores, but like similar profile, not very rich history in football. Really good coach, really good player at quarterback. Indiana, because of their non-conference, they're like, oh, they're the worst team. Like they're fraudulent. Ha, ha, ha. Vanderbilt, like let's look at Vandy's non-conference again. Like, can we look at Vandy's
Charleston
non?
Southern at Virginia Tech, Georgia State, who they scored 70 on, but they also gave up 21, and then Utah State, 6-6. Utah State, they gave up 35 points to.
And by the way, Virginia Tech is terrible this year.
Yep,
Like,
fired the coach after like week 3, I think it was.
yeah, after they lost even worse to Old Dominion.
Was it Old Dominion or South Carolina?
Oh, it's Old Dominion.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Because they lost to South Carolina, then they lost bigger to Vandy, and then they lost to Old Dominion by
You are
even
correct.
more.
Yeah, because South Carolina was the first game of the season. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. And which is, I'm not trying to take shots at Vanderbilt's schedule, but what I'm saying is this is what we mean when there is a narrative against the Big Ten versus the SEC. Because the SEC, like Vanderbilt, like is being championed by many at like Diego Pavia should be the Heisman winner. And Vanderbilt should be considered for the playoff. It's like last year with Indiana, with one less loss, and everybody's like, dude, they don't really deserve to be in. It's ridiculous. Have we forgotten that last year Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State? Have we forgotten that?
Can I tell you something that's going to make you mad?
Go for it.
Diego Pavia is probably going to win the Heisman. He's been getting the love all year, man. He's been getting the love all year. They don't want to give it to a Big Ten guy. And the North, the northern schools are going to, cancel out their votes for Fernando Mendoza and Julian Sayin, and Jeremiah Smith is going to get in there too a little bit. And Jeremiah Love. Like, there are too many teams from up north this year that have viable Heisman candidates. Your two Southern guys for this award right now, Diego Pavia, Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez is not stealing nearly as many votes from Diego Pavia down south as Fernando Mendoza or Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Love or Jeremiah Smith will steal from each other.
This is such a great quote. Diego Pavia will be old enough to draw Social Security next year. He's like 25.
Yeah. Which is
that alone should disqualify him from winning the Heisman.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
Diego Pavia right now has plus 170 odds on FanDuel. Fernando Mendoza is the leader on FanDuel at plus 160, but other books you go to, Diego Pavia is in fact the leading favorite to win the Heisman Trophy.
It's just absurd. And like I get it to an extent. Like Diego Pavia has had a very good season for a team that is not that needed him to elevate them. So like he's got the story. He's been very good. But also, like, from the jump, Julian Sayin has been disregarded because his team is too good, which is just stupid.
I would say Diego Pavia has been very entertaining. I wouldn't say he's been very good.
He's the Johnny Manziel. He's the Johnny Manziel of
exactly.
2025.
He is Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel had the interview this year, where not interview, but like he got stopped on the side of the street and by one of those like interview on the side of the street people, and they were like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I used to play football." And they're like, "Well, what do you do now?" And he's like, "I'm just a guy," like. And then they made the whole like edit of him and everything, and so people are getting the Johnny Manziel love back and everything, and yeah, it's crazy. And I think they're talking about it in the chat. I think like Pavia's brother or somebody like that got arrested at the last game or something. I mean, obviously that shouldn't impact him at all. He's his own person. You don't.
Yeah.
But still, like, just kind of shows. everything that's going on there. The last thing I'll bring up, and then we'll move on to the saboteur thing with Ryan Day and everything else, which I think is going to be a fun conversation. The SEC is, in fact, the only conference who will get a 10-2 team in the playoff this season, Zach. So this whole idea that, like, Clark Lea is complaining because other teams with the same record as SEC teams are going to be in the playoffs. It's like, Clark, do you know what is going on in college football? The only conference that has anybody in the playoffs that is 10-2 is the SEC. No other conference has a 10-2 team in there.
I thought Vanderbilt was supposed to be smart.
Clark Lea graduated from there. You can be smart but not observant, right? There's a lot of people like that.
That's fair. That's fair. That was
book smart, not observant smart.
That was a cheap dig. I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
Like I said, book smart. But maybe, yeah, we'll see. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point because
it's a good
at the same
point.
time, it kind of just encapsulates everything with the quote with how stupid it is, and then it's like you don't even have a point with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nothing that you're saying even has a point with it.
Right. Right.
So.
It's I feel like the phrase like the SEC just needs to be stricken from college football.
Submert. They spell it submert. Phillips says.
Wow.
Phillips on it with the comments tonight. We appreciate
he's
Phillip.
MVP right now.
Like and subscribe for Philip with his comments and how good he's been. You don't even come to the Big Ten Huddle live shows for us. You just come for Philip's comments. Get in the chat. We let the chat replay. You can see what Philip is saying. That's the best stuff.